Beardos, weirdos, boys and girls, how are we all doing? I hope you like the new intro. People said they missed the old one where I started everything up. There you go, there's a new one. Okay, today's video. If you are here for a debunking, this isn't it. Tonight's video was supposed to be a debunking on Franco TV. That will now come on Wednesday. It's a great video. But there's some things out there right now that I have to speak about. And my name is being dragged into conversations that I don't want my name being dragged into. Now, to clear things up, Beardo Gets Scared, the channel, Beardo, me, Dale, me. I do not debunk out of a place of non-belief. I do not debunk out of a place of toxicity, and I do not debunk out of a place of just because I can. Predominantly, I believe in the paranormal because of my own paranormal experiences. Things that happened when I was a child, things that have happened when I was a teenager, and things that on occasion still happen now. As recently as last week, we had some things in the house that we couldn't understand. We just don't record anything here because my wife doesn't like it. A few people that are newer to the channel that don't understand where I come from. This channel started years ago, a couple of years ago, as a Twitch advice channel. I wasn't having fun, the videos didn't get watched, I nearly binned it. I was streaming on Twitch, I had a YouTube collection channel where I unboxed all the stuff you see in this room, and neither did very well. I had fun and I was learning to edit, and you know, the studio came from it. Twitch was a lot of fun for me, and I had a bit of growth, and it looked like it was all going the right direction, and then Twitch made some decisions that I didn't personally agree with. You know, people pretty much getting the bits out for money, and I'm like, yeah, I want no part in that when it's aimed at a younger audience, so I left. And I'd already quit making music. I'd become really bored of playing the toilet scene for nearly 30 years, you know what I'm saying? And then my wife gave me an idea. You love the paranormal. You watch all of this paranormal content, why don't you base a channel around the paranormal? And then this channel turned into a reaction channel. I was just watching spooky, scary videos and reacting, and it wasn't that great. But if you look back, you can see my growth, where I was fully invested, fully like, wow, that could be real. Wow, that could be real. Wow, that could be real, to, I'm getting bored of this. I've seen this before. Oh, I've just seen something that's clearly fake. People are putting up fake paranormal content. This is why I stopped watching Most Haunted and the others, because, you know, the fakery over time became easier to spot. And then I did some research looking into things like the SLS, the torch trick, and all the other stuff that people do to convince their audience that ghosts are real. These people don't believe that ghosts are interacting with that equipment. These people know that this equipment is giving false positives, but it makes their videos more exciting. Sorry. And I did research into that, and I learned about that. Then there was a Mindseed video where something looked off. A ball moved when it shouldn't have, and the two balls around it for a few frames moved. And then I did some research into that, and I realised what I was looking at was masking, or failed masking. And from that point, I became far more skeptical. Not of the paranormal. I became far more skeptical of bullshit videos. Because there are tons of them out there. In fact, the majority of the paranormal that you see on YouTube is nothing but entertainment, lies, fakery, and bullshit. And then I found myself becoming part of a community, the debunking community, a community I didn't know existed. I found channels like Mr. Grey, and you know, Mr. Grey was the first debunker I found, and I took a lot from what he was doing. I learned a lot from what Mr. Grey was doing. I asked Mr. Grey's advice, and I didn't take Mr. Grey's advice, and I nearly trashed my channel by not taking his advice because I got personal with people. I got very personal with people. I was making it my mission to just bring certain people down. And I still stand by some of those takedown attempts. I didn't try to take down by telling people to mass report or anything cowardly like that. I did it by being relentless in debunking the bullshit. And you know the channels I'm on about, Really Haunted, Laney and Ben. Because they were hurting people. They were convincing people they could speak to their loved ones when they can't. They made it look easy when it's not. They never left their house. The content was very easy for them to make, yet they earned a fortune off it. And none of it was real. And then it bled into the ITC channels. And I'm not slating all ITC channels, but those that focus on the celebrity deaths, scumbags. Those that charge money to speak to people's family members, and it's just garbled noise, scam, disgusting, worse than Laney and Ben and Really Haunted, worse, far worse. And then I try to find a middle ground. But in the middle ground, I keep finding myself in these little battles with channels and in these little battles with people. And that's to be expected, because I am calling them out for being fake. So I expect a bit of backlash. In a way, I welcome it, because 9 times out of 10, their behaviour kind of gives them away as it is, because they can never prove that what I'm saying is wrong. They'll just go the route of bullying, toxic, narcissist, sociopath, and all these other things that they portray onto me, which is in fact a reflection of themselves. But in with this journey, and some of you need to remember this, I found a channel called The Ouija Brothers. Very early on, under 1,000 subscribers, I found The Ouija Brothers. I was still in the realm of believing most things, even the Nuke's Top 5s, when I discovered the Ouija Brothers. And the Ouija Brothers helped me realise that the paranormal doesn't behave anything like most of these channels are putting out. I watched months and months and months. I've watched every video they put out. I was enthralled by it. A team going out, getting nothing, week to week to week to week. And then sometimes you get something, you think, oh, that could be it. And then they debunk it themselves. Fantastic. And through them, I found Ghosts on Trent. And through Ghosts on Trent, I found Dead Cold. And the list keeps growing. And I am happy for that list to keep growing. Why? Because I believe in the paranormal. I don't debunk for the sake of debunking. I debunk because I am sick of the bullshit, sick of the fakery. And in proving that one side of the fence sits the fakery, I like to promote the other side of the fence as being very real investigators, whether they capture anything or not. The investigations and the techniques, whether I agree with them or not, are not staged or faked. And as this channel has grown, as the real paranormal community has grown, as the debunking community has grown, some of us have kind of meshed in the middle, to the point where there are debunkers working with paranormal investigation teams. Some debunkers are going out with paranormal investigation teams and investigating at locations. Some of these teams are sending raw footage to debunkers. We can't understand this. We don't want to call it paranormal. Can you take a look? See if you can break it down. What is it? Or on the other hand, they get called fake. They give us the raw footage and we say that's not fake. And let me make this crystal clear. Every time a team has sent me their raw footage, I have backed them up 100% that they are not faking. And still people are going to question. And that is fine. Question by all means. You can have an opinion by all means. But when opinions are stated as fact, the water becomes muddy. Very muddy. Now, a lot of you will be aware that I have had my issues with certain channels. And those certain channels, I believe, ultimately are fake. But you'll also hear me say, it's my opinion. My opinion. My opinion. Why didn't they? They should have. This could be. And then over time of watching certain channels, certain behaviours and things, I can confidently say in my own mind, for me, it's fake. And then I'll share my opinion. But I will label it as just that. My opinion. Recently, I keep getting these comments. It's easy to debunk. Ghosts are not real. 100%. There you go. Stop making videos. Ghosts are not real. I respect what you do, but you seem to be a believer. I am. And the reason I do this is to bolster my own experiences. And the reason that I do this and why I investigate is I want to see if either I'm crazy and if it was just my imagination, or if there is something real and tangible out there that could link us to the paranormal. And I know the arguments. There's no scientific proof that the paranormal exists. Well, a couple of hundred years ago, there was no scientific proof electricity was a thing. There was no proof that energy was a thing. And until science looks deeper into it, it's guesswork. And at some point, every scientist that has discovered something that is very real and scientifically proven, they have been called crazy. A crackpot. Whatever you want to call them. But then once they prove that whatever their theories are very real, everyone forgets they're crazy. Then they're a genius. Maybe the paranormal will go down the same route. Or maybe a scientist will come out once and for all and prove the paranormal isn't real, it's all a trick of the mind, and I'm cool with that. Either way, I'm cool with it. I just want to know the truth. Now, the trigger for this video, and I've been wanting to make this for a while, because I sit in two camps. I sit in the debunking and I sit in the real paranormal. If I have to favour one side more than the other, it's the real paranormal. Because being an out-and-out skeptic goes against my own belief system. I am very skeptical, But I've had my own experiences that cannot be explained. I've gone out and worked with these teams. I've enjoyed myself. I've struck up friendships. I've investigated wonderful locations. And every time I get some little nugget, there are people going, that's fake. I wouldn't risk my channel on faking, and I wouldn't risk my channel on supporting fakery. Now, the trigger for this video is last night. I see on Facebook the Ghosts on Trent are getting a load of grief for going to my haunted hotel. And I see that my name gets brought into it because people have mistakenly thought I have talked shit about Ghosts on Trent. It happened last week. Somebody commented on one of my videos basically saying, oh, you've debunked Ghosts on Trent, you POS, etc, etc, etc. Hadn't watched the video that I was actually looking at Ghosts on Trent to debunk them, and then ended up doing the exact opposite of it, having a conversation with them, and that's where the friendship came from, why I work with them, and why I've still got, and why I have their merch on delivery to me now. Because I support them, like I support Dead Cold, like I support the Ouija Brothers, or any of the teams you see me shout out, any of the teams you see me working with, or the teams you will see me working with. And now suddenly people are calling Ghosts on Trent fake. And in with that, people are saying that people like me are doing damage to Ghosts on Trent. Clearly those people don't watch my videos, they think I just shit all over channels, that's not what I do. Now, recently a video's come out basically saying, you know, the hotel is fake. The hotel is fake because of whatever. Now, I have been to that hotel twice. I had 2 fantastic experiences there. I had a great time on both occasions. People are saying that I went there and I was tricked by the hotel the first time. Well, I wasn't, because we never booked in as Beardo. We booked in under my wife's name. And it wasn't until I was already there and the investigations were already about to start that I was like, I'm a debunker. And Danny looked me in the eye and went, good, we love debunkers, have at it. The second time, I was there by invite. And people are like, oh, they've unplugged everything, they've taken all the speakers out the walls, they've done all of this stuff, then invited you because they've controlled the environment, which would be a fair comment had things not happened. If nothing had happened the entire night, then fair enough. They may be staging, they could have unplugged everything, brought us in just to make themselves look legit. Sorry, quiet night. That didn't happen. I had an experience. Some people think the experience was me being conned, some people think it was real. Whatever. But it was a sound. The sound could have come from anywhere, been anything, and I understand that and I get that. At the same point, another team was there, and this other team I have had a very recent falling out with. I don't like the way they spoke about the community, I don't like the way they spoke about me, and I called them out for it. Now, I would stand to gain more by shitting all over PSI, because, you know, we had a very public spat. They've called me some choice words. Now, I could fire back through nastiness by looking at their content and trying to debunk it or pulling it apart. I haven't done that. A lot of people are saying they faked the t-shirt pull at my haunted hotel. I was there. I was at the hotel. I heard the reaction through the walls. I heard the reactions on the radios, and then I was called downstairs. You need to see this. This was about 40-50 seconds later. Nobody had time to edit that footage. I know how to edit. You couldn't have done it in the 40 to 50 seconds it took me to get downstairs. I was shown it first off a mobile phone that was recording a screen like this, and then I was taken into the control room and shown the footage. I know CCTV. I worked with it for over a decade, and I know when something is being rewound back and played, and it's not being tampered with. That's what I saw. So people are now accusing teams that I work with, teams that I stand by, of being fake because they have gone to what they perceive to be a haunted attraction. Now, to a degree, my haunted hotel is a haunted attraction. They've said as much. You know, it's a real paranormal investigation, but we have paying members of the public come in. In a way, it is an attraction. So, the Ouija Brothers Ghosts on Trent have gone to my haunted hotel. They have recorded there. They're editing the videos there, and people are calling them fake. They haven't seen the videos yet, but they're calling them fake. And that ain't on. That ain't on at all. And I don't understand that mindset, because how do you know that the video that comes out isn't going to be those guys at the hotel going, do you know what? This turned out to be a load of shit. All of it. We've debunked everything. We've caught them faking. I'm not saying that's what they've done. That's what happened. But People just jump the bandwagon because the hotel is mentioned. Now, people keep asking me, would you go back to the hotel? Yes, I would. Why would I go back to the hotel? Because if you take away the My Haunted Hotel business, you're left with something called Ye Old King's Head. And Ye Old King's Head has been rumoured to be haunted for hundreds of years. There have been documented reports of hauntings at that building since long before My Haunted Hotel, or since long before Harry took over ownership of it. And that is what intrigues paranormal investigators. It intrigues it. It intrigues us as paranormal investigators. That is what lures us to this place. Now, just about every haunted location I've been to, a fake team has been there. A fake team has faked things there. That doesn't then mean that that location is then fake. It means that team was fake. And this whole idea that debunkers just call out fakery needs to stop. Because that's not what we do. It's certainly not what I do. Yes, I call it a lot of fakery because there's a lot of fakery out there. But debunking is looking for logical answers. Real world things that could cause people to mistake things for the paranormal. It just so happens that calling somebody fake is a lot more entertaining for people to watch. So with all of this new found drama and toxicity, will I continue to investigate with the Ouija Brothers, Ghosts on Trent and all the other real paranormal teams? Absolutely. Absolutely, because even though we may not all investigate in the exact same way, it is still interesting to me. Some teams like using apps, I don't. Are they right and I'm wrong? Who knows? A lot of paranormal teams don't like using apps. A lot of teams like using apps. As long as you're not saying this app word is definitive proof of the paranormal, then I'm cool with it. The second that you base your entire investigation around words being spewed out of an app, I lose interest. Now back to the hotel for a little bit. And yes, I will go back to My Haunted Hotel, aka Ye Old King's Head, because it is a reportedly haunted location and I like to investigate reportedly haunted locations or abandoned buildings that could be haunted. And I do this in search of the truth. Now, I've seen the business model being brought into question. Buying a second building, that's dodgy. Is it? Let me play devil's advocate for a second. A businessman believes in the I'm a businessman. I believe in the paranormal. How can I prove the paranormal? I keep going around these abandoned, derelict buildings looking for it. I keep paying to go into these reportedly haunted locations looking for it. Ooh. This place is haunted. Let's use the Enfield Poltergeist case. Ooh, that house is for sale. There's a story of a haunting there. I happen to believe that some of that could have been real. Ooh, I could actually afford to buy that and kit it out top to bottom in cameras. I'm going to do that because recording 24/7, 365, I could potentially capture something. That's a good idea. I could invite people in to investigate. Seems like a good idea. Right. A year later, 2 years later, 3 years later, this has become quite successful. People love staying here. People love having experiences or just being there and hoping they get an experience. This business has done well for me. Oh, this haunted location from this story is up for sale. I think I could possibly buy the second location and recreate that business model. Seems like a good idea because I believe in the paranormal. Why have I just said all that? Because one of the ideas that's being thrown about now is that it is ridiculous for the owner, Harry, of My Haunted Hotel to have bought a second business, a second haunted location. I disagree. There are homeowners all over, there are building owners all over America with multiple apparent haunted buildings. They invite teams in. Yes, it does make money, but at the same point, if you look at it from a paranormal investigator point of view, not a debunking point of view, it makes sense to buy multiple buildings if you could afford it, to rig them up with cameras, to get people in there investigating. This isn't me shitting on one side or the other. This is me playing devil's advocate, because this is the one side of the argument I have not seen from anyone. That it makes sense for somebody that believes in the paranormal to buy a building, cover it in CCTV, and investigate it. But that is being thrown about as a negative, and I just wanted to look at another point of view for that. Now, people have recently accused me and Ghosts of Trent and colluding and being fake and ultimately proved nothing. There are people in my comment sections saying that I can't be a debunker and a paranormal investigator, which, I'm sorry, that is absolute bollocks. I think that if you are a investigator and a debunker, you've got a little bit more knowledge than somebody that just sits by a computer. There is nothing wrong with just sitting by a computer, but you get more experience by being out in the field, by being in haunted locations, by recording, by working with paranormal investigation teams, understanding their methods. Now, I am the guy that has been to my haunted hotel, worked with the Ouija Brothers, worked with Ghosts on Trent, and a few other teams. I'm also the guy that's been on Kenny Biddle's self-help show, where he is a complete skeptic. I am also the guy that took on Most Haunted, Ghost Hunters, all of the big teams, and I got some respect from some people from the larger teams. And it is because of that respect that I've been shown, and it is because of the fact that the real paranormal investigators have so much faith in me and ask me my advice and send me raw footage, that I have to say this toxic, nasty bullshit. It's got to stop. I see people saying, oh, this team worked with that team who are fake 10 years ago, therefore they're fake. Well, until the original team was proved fake, how does anyone know? I could go out tomorrow, work with a team called the Paranormal Research Cardiff Brigade, or whatever the fuck you want to call them. Go out and work with those people, have a fantastic investigation, maybe get a little bit of something, maybe get nothing at all, which is usually the case. Come home, edit my video, put out my video, and be like, that was cool. And then a year later, these Cardiff guys, they've got bored, they've started adding a little bit of something in there. A year after that, they've got doors slamming, they're conjuring demons through chalk on the floor, and you know what I'm saying? That doesn't then mean that I'm fake because I worked with them 2 years ago. That means they have changed into something else entirely. But until they are proved 100% to be fake, I still haven't worked with a faker. I would be the first to question it myself. There are a lot of people right now saying, this channel is fake, this channel is fake, this channel is fake, with zero evidence. Because they have worked with people that are not liked. Because they have worked with people in the past, 5, 6, 7 years ago. This channel is fake because they have worked with a psychic medium. I don't believe in psychic mediums. But I would never say a channel is fake just because they have tried a psychic medium. I would take a psychic medium to a haunted location with me just to see if there was a difference. I have some experiments lined up that I have spoken to Steve from the Ouija Brothers about, and he's like, that's thinking outside the box, go for it. Because there's no science. It is what if I introduce this to the atmosphere, just see what happens. It could be something, it could be nothing. Because at the heart of all of this, I am a paranormal investigator. I investigate claims of the paranormal, whether they be real or fake, and I throw out my findings. And part of the problem I'm having right now is people are assuming that just because a channel is featured on my channel that they are fake. That is not the case. I promote heavily the real teams. My live streams have very little to do with anything debunking wise. Sometimes somebody will come in being a dick, throwing a team's name around that I don't like, and I will shoot you down. But for the most part, those live streams are just me talking to the community and me celebrating these teams that I enjoy. Why would I celebrate those teams that I enjoy? Because 9 times out of 10, they're in the live chat and people are asking questions about those channels. So, to sum up all of this, I am a paranormal investigator. I investigate videos, I investigate locations, I investigate teams. I come away with positive experiences, I come away with negative experiences. I do not, I repeat, do not go out with the intention of expressly proving the paranormal field to be a load of shit. I don't. In fact, any debunker worth their salt doesn't do that. Most of the debunkers would love to see something. But now there's this little cluster of nastiness where they go into people's channels and they pick at them and they're like, you're fake, you're fake, you're fake. And it's bleeding into Facebook now where people are like, you work with this channel, you're fake. You worked with that channel 6 years ago, you're fake. You've gone to this building, you're fake. Just because some people have gone to 30 East Drive and faked it doesn't mean that the place isn't haunted. At the same point, just because people have gone there and had experiences doesn't mean that it is, because we weren't there. However, I I have been to 30 East Drive, didn't have an experience. So I can't say it's haunted, I can't say it's not. Especially based on the fact that people have gone there and faked shit. I've been to the Ancient Ram Inn. Is it haunted? I don't know. Never really experienced anything. There was a few little weird things here and there. Did I experience a haunting? Did I see a ghost? No. Does that mean it's not haunted? No. I was there for one night. I've been to the hotel twice. And on both times, I wanted to experience the paranormal and I wanted to catch them faking. I never caught them faking. I never saw any signs of fakery. There were things there that were explained as, you know, natural sounds, natural building settling and things like that. But they're the type of things that they don't call out to be ghosts anyway. So this isn't me throwing shade at the debunking community. This isn't me throwing shade at the real paranormal community. And this isn't me throwing shade at my haunted hotel. This is me saying that this sort of battle in the real paranormal community, just fucking stop it. There is something that needs to stop, and it needs to stop now. And I'm not going to use a specific example to drag channels into it. Dead Cold has never been involved in drama as far as I'm aware. So somebody goes into a Dead Cold comment section and says, hey, you went to Chillingham Castle. That castle, the history has been proved to be a lie. That's not the case. We're just making things up as we go. Therefore, you're fake. And then coming into my comment section and saying, ooh, you're wearing a Dead Cold t-shirt. He went to Chillingham. Chillingham is fake. Therefore, you're fake. He's fake. You're all pieces of shit. You're all in it together. Get off the internet. Stop making videos. It's not how it works. It should never be how it works. If I watch some footage and there is somebody pulling a wire or using a mask or having a third person throwing things just off shot or any of those things, then I have my opinion and I will say in my video, because I'm entitled to do what I want on my channel, I will say in my opinion that is fake. Or as a matter of fact, that is fake because of X, Y, Z. I record the video, I edit the video, I put the video out. What I don't then do is go to that channel that I've just caught faking and leave any negative comments. Start any bullshit, have any fallings out with them. I also then don't go into other channels that associate with them and call them a piece of shit and call them out and call them liars and call them fakers. What I do on this channel rubs a lot of people up the wrong way, and you know, I don't care. I've got editing experience now because I've been at this a while. I had another channel where I edited. I go out in the field and I investigate. I have a lot of experience. I investigate, and I have been investigating for years. The early 2000s, I started investigating. I just didn't record shit. And could you really call it investigating? It was more ghost hunting. But over time, when I wasn't getting things that other people were getting, I was like, something up with all this. And I've dipped in and out of it. But I have a lot of experience. Am I an expert in anything? No. Have I ever claimed to be an expert in anything? No. Do I even claim to be the best debunker? No. I'm not. But I will stand by the fact that I go out into the field. I will stand by the fact that I have gone into reportedly haunted locations in the UK and had experiences or not had experiences. I will stand by that I have worked with teams in the real paranormal field in numerous locations and not experienced or experienced stuff. Whatever. What all of that amounts to is experience. You start a new job, you know nothing about it. 2 years later, you know that job inside out. It's the same thing with the paranormal field, as in investigating. Now, a lot of these teams will say real paranormal. Real paranormal is in the thumbnail somewhere in writing. Real paranormal will be in the disclaimer in the description. What they don't say is it's a real ghost caught on camera. Watch this. What they actually say is real paranormal. Nothing happened, probably. Real paranormal. We can't explain this. And they can't. They don't then say that was paranormal. That was a ghost. That was a poltergeist. That was a demon. That was this, that, the other. They try to look logically. This video is going to rub people up the wrong way. It is what it is. I always rub people up the wrong way. But I've always rubbed people up the wrong way through being honest and through my own opinions on the paranormal field, in which there is no proof of fuck all. My experience and my opinions all say to me that I am a debunker, but I am a paranormal investigator. I investigate through videos, I investigate on locations, I investigate with other teams, I investigate with my friend who has a very similar mindset. Very skeptical, but let's hope we catch something. And it's pissing me off to see people that I work with, friends of mine, get called fake because they've been to a location that has been accused of fakery, or teams have faked it. It's not what I set out to do, and it's not something I want to be part of. I don't want to be part of this. It's the paranormal. It's all bullshit. I don't want to be part of that. I am not part of that. I will listen to opinions from people from that side of the fence. I respect Kenny Biddle. I like Kenny Biddle's work. Kenny Biddle has debunked just about every piece of equipment there is out there. But it doesn't mean I agree with him on everything, and he knows that. We had a discussion live about it, that I have very different thought processes, and he respects that because, while he looks from a scientific point of view, he's not a scientist. Anyway, leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. I'm not going to turn the comments off because I keep seeing that lately. Somebody does a video where they're like, I'm going to piss everyone off, and then they close the comments, and I'm not going to do that. I think people have the right to have their say. But if you are going to come into the comment section just to call out any one specific person as a piece of shit or whatever because you don't like them, then that's absolutely not happening. And the last thing, and this is important, is the personal stuff with people. Stop that. I'm guilty of it. I did it to Proving Demons. I went way over the top with Proving Demons. Whilst I don't like what he did in an investigation, I attacked his appearance, and that was wrong of me. I've apologised I don't know how many times. He's accepted the apology. People move on. I've said some very horrible things about Smug Puppy's house, and I've apologised, I've moved on, and I haven't done it since. And now I'm seeing people saying, I don't like the way that person talks. I don't like the way that person speaks. I don't like his accent. Jesus Christ. People can't help their accents and the way they talk. You're bordering on xenophobia. Stop it. So if I can learn to not throw personal attacks at people, surely everyone can. Surely we have moved beyond that. You know, the Crayola kids, that's not attacking somebody. That's having a bit of a laugh with them. And when I'm saying things about, you know, tattoos and weight, 9 times out of 10 I'm aiming it at myself because I'm pretty heavily tattooed, because I am a little bit overweight, because I'm grey, because I'm getting old. But there becomes a massive difference when it leaves the realm of a little bit of comedy and a little bit of poking to just plain nastiness. And there is a lot of it, and there's a lot of it rearing its head again. And if we as a community don't want to be seen to be toxic, then the nastiness has to stop. If you have an opinion, say, this is my opinion, I don't like this team because... That's fine. That team is still going to fight back because that's what everyone does on YouTube. They defend their income. Fair enough. But this taking the piss out of people's accents, which I did to Lee from Really Haunted, but, you know, it's because he got things like the Lord's Prayer wrong. The guy is praying to stave off a demon attack and he got it wrong. There's a huge difference between taking the piss out of a complete scam artist and then just being horrible because of the way somebody speaks, because of the way somebody looks. You know, I have people coming in, you've got a lopsided haircut, you dickhead. Yeah, I know, it's because I cut myself in lockdown and I can't grow this back out to catch up because I'll have a weird stripe up the side of my head. It doesn't bother me, but it bothers other people. I don't care when people say shit about my weight. Well, maybe I do because I've been on a diet. I've been actively trying to lose weight. Maybe part of that is the personal digs at me all the time. Maybe my brain has gone, do you know what? They got a point. How long until this nastiness boils over into something where somebody gets so upset they do something life-changing? I want to keep my conscience clear of things like that. Now, I know that for the majority, my community don't go into other channels leaving horrible comments. I can't stop everyone doing it. People view me, people who subscribe to me are going to go and leave horrible comments, whether I tell them to or not. I can't do anything about it. But I also won't shoulder the responsibility for that. But I can say, please, anyone that watches any of my content, stop leaving horrible comments on people's videos. Stop going into channels' comment sections and stirring things up between different channels. It doesn't help the paranormal community. And while you may say that, and what you could say there is, but I'm not part of the paranormal community, I'm just part of a debunking community. I don't believe in the paranormal. Absolutely fine. But that's not my standpoint. That is not my view. And the reason I used to get so angry at people that fake is my belief system was being damaged, being made a mockery out of. It just seems like a lot of people just want to shout hurtful, horrible things for the sake of it because they've got nothing else better to do. And then I try to defend the debunking community, and then I see some just horrible shit being said from the debunking community, and I'm like, I've worked my ass off for the last 8 or 9 months trying to right some wrongs I've done, trying to steer us in a better direction, and there's a handful of people just shitting all over that. And then with that, not all of us debunkers have the same opinion. Not all of us debunkers debunk the same way, and not all of us debunkers enjoy the same channels and dislike the same channels. It's a fact. It can't be helped. It's opinion, it's personality, and all of the rest of it. So what I'm trying to say there is, just because a debunker doesn't like a specific channel, doesn't mean that that is my point of view on them. At all. I know I am probably the least skeptical of the debunkers. I can't help the way I am. I have had experiences which to me are real, and I want to go and search for those experiences, and in trying to find those experiences, cast aside all of the bullshit and the fakery. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section down below. Don't bother with the nastiness, because I'm just going to remove it this time. I am sick of it. I am absolutely sick of people giving me a bad reputation, and then seeing my name crop up in people's channels like, Beardo said this, Beardo said that. Beardo didn't say shit. People in the comment section have said things. They are their words, not mine. Much love to you all. Beardo out.